For decades, South Africa has been known as a land of contrasts, vast open landscapes stretching across the Karoo, bustling metropolitan centers such as Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, and a transport infrastructure that has struggled to keep up with the demands of a growing population and economy. The idea of high-speed rail in South Africa has often been dismissed as a distant dream, something seen only in Asia or Europe. Yet, in this reimagined future, that dream becomes reality with the introduction of the JR East Shinkansen Series E10, a revolutionary train designed not just for speed but for transforming the very way South Africans think about mobility, connectivity, and national progress. The Shinkansen E10 is not simply a train, it is a vision of what the future of South Africa could look like. The decision to bring the E10 into the country was more than just a technological import. It was a bold statement about South Africa's ambition to stand alongside the most advanced nations of the world. The train, originally conceived as Japan's next-generation Shinkansen, has been adapted and re-engineered to suit the unique geographical, cultural, and infrastructural challenges of South Africa. At the heart of this project lies the recognition that transportation is not just about moving people from one point to another. It is about uniting communities, fueling economic growth, and creating opportunities that were previously unimaginable. For too long, South Africans have relied on outdated rail systems, congested roads, and expensive air travel to traverse their vast country. The Shinkansen E10 promises to change all of that, offering a new model of high-speed, sustainable, and inclusive transportation. Why South Africa needs the E10? South Africa is a nation of wide distances. Traveling between Johannesburg and Cape Town, for example, can take nearly 14 hours by car or bus and about 2 hours by plane when factoring in airport procedures and delays. Durban, one of the busiest port cities in Africa, remains relatively disconnected from the inland economic hubs. The lack of efficient, affordable, and rapid intercity transport has long been a barrier to South Africa's economic integration. The arrival of the Shinkansen E10 addresses these challenges head-on. With projected speeds of up to 360 km per hour, the E10 can reduce travel times between Johannesburg and Cape Town to under 4 hours. Durban could be connected to Gauteng in just 2 hours, opening new possibilities for business, tourism, and family connections. This level of connectivity would not only rival but surpass the convenience of domestic air travel, all while being more environmentally friendly and accessible. A symbol of modernization, South Africa has always aspired to lead Africa in technology and infrastructure, but uneven investment and political instability have often slowed progress. The E10 project is envisioned as a turning point, a chance to showcase South Africa as a leader in African innovation. Unlike the Gautrain, which is limited to Gauteng province, the E10 is designed as a nationwide backbone, spanning provinces, cultures, and economies. The symbolism of introducing a Shinkansen in South Africa is powerful. It represents a blending of global innovation with African ambition. It says to the world, South Africa is ready to embrace the future. The E10 is more than steel, wires, and engines. It is a testament to human aspiration, a physical embodiment of the desire to move forward, faster and stronger. Challenges and adaptations. Of course, bringing a futuristic Japanese train into South Africa was never going to be a simple copy-paste exercise. The E10 had to be reimagined to suit South Africa's diverse conditions. Unlike Japan, which is compact and highly urbanized, South Africa is vast, with deserts, mountains, grasslands, and coastal regions. Each landscape presents its own engineering challenges, from heat-resistant tracks in the northern Cape to elevated bridges across valleys and earthquake-resistant tunnels through the Drakensberg Mountains. Security has also been a concern. In a nation where vandalism and cable theft have plagued traditional rail systems, the E10 infrastructure had to be equipped with advanced monitoring systems, drone patrols, and AI-powered security networks to ensure smooth operation. Every detail, from the construction of stations to the sourcing of electricity, had to be carefully adapted to South Africa's unique realities. Connecting people, not just cities. One of the most exciting aspects of the Shinkansen E10 in South Africa is its ability to connect people across different walks of life. Imagine a student from Polokwane being able to attend university in Johannesburg and still return home for the weekend. Picture a small business owner in Durban who can now reach clients in Pretoria without the stress of a 7-hour drive. Visualize families being able to visit one another across provinces with ease, strengthening social bonds and cultural unity. This train is not just for the elite, it is designed to be inclusive. With tiered ticket pricing, government subsidies, and accessibility features for people with disabilities, the E10 embodies the principle that modern technology should serve everyone. The goal is not only to make travel faster but also to make it fairer, bridging the economic divides that have long defined South African society. A gateway to Africa. South Africa is not just building the E10 for itself. The project is part of a larger vision to make the country a gateway for high-speed rail across the African continent. If successful, the E10 could set the precedent for similar systems in Nigeria, Kenya, and Egypt, linking Africa's major economies in ways never before possible. In this sense, the South African Shinkansen is more than a national project, it is a continental statement of intent. Conclusion to Part 1. The introduction of the JR East Shinkansen Series E10 in South Africa marks the beginning of a new era. It is the story of ambition meeting innovation, of a nation daring to dream bigger and faster. As we move into the next parts of this exploration, we will delve deeper into the design, technology, passenger experience, and the profound economic and cultural impact this project promises to deliver. The Shinkansen Series E10, when envisioned for South Africa, is more than just a piece of imported technology. It is an engineering marvel carefully adapted to meet the country's diverse landscapes, climates, and infrastructural challenges. Unlike Japan, which has a relatively compact geography, South Africa's terrain is vast and varied, stretching from the arid deserts of the Northern Cape to the lush coastal regions of KwaZulu-Natal and the mountainous escarpments of Mpumalanga. To successfully bring the E10 to South Africa, engineers had to redesign the system from the ground up, ensuring it could thrive under these conditions while still maintaining its futuristic performance. Aerodynamic design. At the forefront of the E10 is its sleek aerodynamic nose, designed not only to reduce air resistance but also to minimize noise pollution when entering tunnels or passing through open plains. In South Africa, the design was slightly modified to withstand high crosswinds common in regions like the Karoo and Free State. Engineers created reinforced body shells that balance speed with stability, ensuring the train can safely reach speeds of up to 360 km per hour even in challenging conditions. Track and infrastructure. The tracks for the E10 in South Africa were among the most significant engineering undertakings in the nation's history. Unlike traditional railway lines vulnerable to theft and damage, the E10 system uses specialized high-tensile steel rails, supported by continuous concrete foundations. These tracks are embedded with fiber optic sensors to detect vibration, stress, and temperature changes in real time. Alongside the tracks, solar-powered security drones patrol the lines, reducing risks of vandalism. Bridges, tunnels, and viaducts were designed to cross valleys, rivers, and mountainous terrain. For example, the Drakensberg line required the construction of some of the longest tunnels in Africa, complete with earthquake-resistant and fireproof technology. Energy and sustainability. South Africa faces unique energy challenges, with load shedding being a common reality. To overcome this, the E10 relies heavily on renewable power sources. Many stations are designed with solar farms, and parts of the line are connected to wind farms along the Western Cape Coast. Battery backup systems, using next-generation lithium-ion technology, ensure the trains can continue operating even during temporary power cuts. The E10's regenerative braking system also recycles kinetic energy back into the grid, providing electricity for stations and nearby communities. This turns the train into not just a consumer of energy, but a producer as well. Safety systems. The hallmark of Shinkansen has always been safety, and the South African version is no different. Using automatic train control (ATC) and artificial intelligence monitoring, the train maintains precise spacing between vehicles, making collisions virtually impossible. Advanced fencing and AI surveillance systems prevent unauthorized access to tracks. Furthermore, climate monitoring systems adjust speed during extreme weather events, such as heavy rain or high winds, to ensure safe journeys across the country's diverse environments. Digital integration. The E10 is a fully digital train, equipped with smart ticketing systems that integrate with mobile banking and digital IDs. Passengers can book tickets via apps, pay with e-wallets, or even use biometric verification at stations. Onboard Wi-Fi, entertainment systems, and real-time travel updates turn the train into a seamless part of South Africa's digital revolution. Conclusion to Part 2. The Shinkansen E10 is not just an imported machine but a re-engineered marvel tailored for South Africa's terrain and society. It combines speed, safety, sustainability, and digital innovation, standing as a symbol of modern engineering that brings the dream of high-speed rail to life on African soil. While technology and engineering are the backbone of the Shinkansen E10, what truly defines its success in South Africa is the passenger experience. For decades, long-distance travel in South Africa has often been associated with frustration, delays, overcrowding, unsafe conditions, and discomfort. The E10 redefines that narrative, creating a world-class experience that rivals airlines while remaining grounded in South African culture and inclusivity. Comfort and luxury. The train offers 3 seating classes: Standard, Business, and Premier. Standard class is designed to be affordable, with comfortable reclining seats, charging ports, and free Wi-Fi. Business class provides extra legroom, personal screens, and semi-private seating arrangements ideal for professionals. Premier class is South Africa's answer to first-class travel, offering live flat seats, private cabins, and gourmet dining menus that showcase both local and international cuisine. Cultural touches. One of the most remarkable features of the E10 in South Africa is the way it incorporates cultural identity into its design. The interiors feature patterns inspired by Ndebele art, Zulu beadwork, and Xhosa textiles. Stations are designed with elements reflecting local traditions and history, turning them into cultural landmarks rather than just transit hubs. Food served onboard includes dishes like bunny chow, pap and chakalaka, Cape Malay curries, and biltong snacks, alongside international favorites. This ensures that the travel experience feels proudly South African. Accessibility for all. The E10 is built with inclusivity in mind. Wide doors, step-free boarding, tactile flooring for the visually impaired, and designated seating areas for people with disabilities make the train accessible to all. Ticketing systems include discounted fares for students, pensioners, and low-income groups, supported by government subsidies to ensure fairness and inclusivity. Onboard entertainment. Each seat is equipped with personal screens offering South African films, documentaries, and live sports channels. Passengers can stream music, learn languages, or even participate in interactive travel guides showcasing destinations along the route. For children, educational games and supervised play areas are available, making family travel enjoyable. Seamless connectivity. High-speed Wi-Fi allows professionals to work during travel, effectively turning the train into a moving office. Students can attend virtual classes, and entrepreneurs can hold online meetings, breaking the traditional barriers between travel and productivity. Conclusion to Part 3. The Shinkansen E10 is not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about transforming the journey itself. By blending comfort, inclusivity, and cultural pride, the E10 redefines passenger experience in South Africa, making high-speed rail a lifestyle choice rather than just a transport option. The Shinkansen E10's arrival in South Africa represents far more than a transport upgrade, it is a catalyst for national transformation. Its impact spans across the economy, society, environment, and even national identity. Job creation and industry growth. The construction of the E10 network created hundreds of thousands of jobs across engineering, construction, manufacturing, and technology sectors. South African companies were integrated into the supply chain, building tracks, producing parts, and managing operations. Universities partnered with the project to train engineers and technicians, creating a new generation of skilled workers. Boost to tourism. Tourism, a cornerstone of South Africa's economy, stands to gain immensely from the E10. Imagine tourists landing in Johannesburg and being able to reach Cape Town in under 4 hours, or visiting Durban's beaches the same day. Safari destinations in Limpopo and Mpumalanga become accessible to more international travelers. The E10 effectively turns the entire country into a single, interconnected tourist destination. Urban growth and development. Stations act as magnets for urban growth. Around each Shinkansen stop, new businesses, hotels, and housing projects emerge, revitalizing previously underdeveloped regions. Smaller towns benefit from increased access to major cities, reducing rural isolation and promoting balanced national growth. Trade and logistics. Although designed primarily for passengers, the E10 also opens doors for high-speed freight options. Lightweight, time-sensitive cargo like medical supplies, fresh produce, and electronics can be moved rapidly across provinces, boosting trade efficiency. Social integration. Perhaps most importantly, the E10 becomes a tool for national unity. South Africa, often divided by geography and inequality, finds a new sense of connection. Affordable travel allows people from different provinces and cultures to interact more frequently, fostering understanding and unity. Conclusion to Part 4. The E10's introduction transforms South Africa into a more connected, competitive, and inclusive nation. By bridging distances and creating opportunities, it becomes more than a train, it becomes a vehicle for national rebirth. The Shinkansen E10 is not the end of South Africa's high-speed journey, it is only the beginning. Looking into the future, the E10 stands as the foundation of a broader vision that extends far beyond national borders. 2030 and beyond. By 2030, the network is expected to connect Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, Cape Town, Bloemfontein, and Polokwane. By 2040, expansions could extend to Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, positioning South Africa as the hub of an African high-speed rail network. Continental leadership. South Africa's adoption of the E10 sets an example for other African nations. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and Egypt may develop their own systems, creating the potential for an interconnected African transport grid. This would revolutionize trade and travel across the continent. Environmental goals. As global climate concerns grow, South Africa's high-speed rail system represents a commitment to greener infrastructure. With renewable energy integration and reduced reliance on domestic flights, the E10 significantly cuts carbon emissions. This positions South Africa as a leader in sustainable development. Cultural and symbolic value. Beyond economics and logistics, the E10 becomes a symbol of African pride. It shows that Africa is not just catching up with the world but is capable of leading innovation. It symbolizes progress, unity, and ambition for future generations. Conclusion to Part 5. The Shinkansen E10 in South Africa is more than a transport system, it is a vision of what the future of Africa can look like. It blends technology, culture, and ambition into a single project that carries the hopes of a nation and an entire continent. As South Africa looks to the horizon, the E10 is not just a train racing across the tracks, it is a beacon of what is possible when nations dare to dream.